A simple moment can become the center of public attention, especially if it involves two big star figures who are at the peak of popularity. That's what happens when Do Young and Moon Jae-young share a brief scene on the stage of a big event. There are no long dialogues, no dramatic scenes a la Korean dramas prepared in advance, just one small gesture. A man puts on a jacket to a woman who looks cold. However, in a matter of minutes, the event turned into a hot topic of conversation in cyberspace, giving rise to hundreds of thousands of comments, thousands of reposts, to speculation about the relationship between the two. The event took place in an open space, presenting many of South Korea's top celebrities. Moon Jae-young's performance that night was stunning. She wore an elegant dress that was hailed by the media as one of the best outfits of the event. However, despite its elegant appearance, the evening atmosphere turned out to be quite cold, and the sudden drop in temperature made him seem a little shivering. The show's camera had captured Moon Jae-young's small movements smoothing his hands, as if trying to warm himself. This is where the crucial moment happens. Do Young, who happened to be not far from the position of the actress, seemed to be paying attention. Without saying much, he grabbed a jacket prepared by the production team near the stage. In the glare of the cameras and the gazes of hundreds of spectators, Do Young stepped closer, then with careful movements put the jacket on Moon Jae-young's shoulders. The scene lasted for only a few seconds, but Moon Jae-young's surprised expression, as well as warm smile, made the atmosphere of the stage change. The on-site audience could even be heard giving spontaneous applause, while the show's MC held back a chuckle realizing how quickly the moment was in the spotlight. Not long after, social media was filled with short snippets of videos less than 15 seconds long. The clip showing Do Young wearing the jacket immediately went viral on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Many fans praised the gesture as a sign of concern, while others began to speculate whether there was a special closeness between the two. Some fan accounts even provided dramatic captions such as, "If this is a drama scene, the ratings will go up immediately." Within 2 hours after the show ended, the names of Do Young and Moon Jae-young rose to trending topics in several countries. Hashtags such as #DoYoungMoonJae-young, #JacketMoment, to #Sweet Gesture adorn the timeline. In fact, several international media outlets, which usually only cover big news from Korea, also highlighted the event as the hottest moment of the night. What makes the moment even more interesting is how the camera captures their reaction afterwards. Moon Jae-young seemed to lower his head slightly, giving an embarrassed but sincere smile, while Do Young only smiled briefly and returned to his original position without saying much. There is no impression of wanting to seek attention. It looks natural, as if it is part of their daily lives. For fans, small expressions of this kind are much more killing than large gestures are designed. Soon, several online forums such as the Ku and Pan were filled with discussions. Most netizens wrote positive comments, mentioning Do Young as a gentleman and Moon Jae-young as an actress who is lucky to have a colleague with a high sense of caring. Others have linked this moment to their previous interactions at various events, ranging from joint interviews to brief behind-the-scenes moments. The longer, the more people who judge that the two do have chemistry that cannot be ignored. That night, from a simple moment that may not mean much to some, a small phenomenon was born in the Korean entertainment industry. A jacket worn with great care seemed to be a symbol of closeness, although the two themselves had not given any statement at the time. The public can only guess while curiosity continues to grow. And the next day, when the official interview took place, only then did part of the mystery begin to be answered. But before we get into it, it's worth understanding who Do Young and Moon Jae-young really are. Two big stars with brilliant careers whose names are now increasingly juxtaposed thanks to this simple moment. That afternoon, a major award ceremony was held at one of Seoul's top outdoor venues. The grand stage with golden spotlights stands stately, decorated with floral ornaments and giant LED screens that display the names of the invited artists. Celebrities walked the red carpet in their best outfits, smiled at the cameras, and greeted the thousands of fans who thronged the side of the stage. Among the stars present, the two figures who stole the most attention were Do Young and Moon Jae-young. Moon Jae-young looked elegant in a long ivory white dress. Her simple yet elegant cut makes her look radiant, and many photographers highlight her as one of the queen of the night. Do Young, on the other hand, wore a classic black suit with a sleek tie, giving the impression of a formal as well as a gentleman. The two do not come in pairs, but are in the same line of invitees, so they are often seen standing not too far from each other. The mood begins to change when the event entered the middle. The atmosphere that was originally comfortable changed. The cold wind blew harder than expected. Although the organizers have prepared air warmers at some point, in fact, not all artists can be protected from the sudden onset of cold. Television cameras even had time to catch some celebrities hugging their bodies or patting their hands to warm themselves. Moon Jae-young, who was wearing a sleeveless dress, looked a little shivering. In one of the rebroadcasts, his facial expression showed an attempt to resist the cold. His lips trembled slightly, while his hand tried to run over his arm as if to give additional warmth. In the midst of the camera spotlight and thousands of pairs of eyes, the situation was certainly not easy. The moment Do Young moves, this is where Do Young's gesture comes into the spotlight. He was standing a few steps away from Moon Jae-young when he saw the actress start to look uncomfortable. Without much thought, he stepped towards the small table on the side of the stage, where some spare equipment had already been prepared by the event staff. On the table there is a black warm jacket, which is actually prepared for an emergency if there is an artist in need. Do Young took the jacket, then approached Moon Jae-young. In the camera footage, it is clear how he leans slightly, making sure that his actions do not disturb the formal atmosphere of the event. With a slow and careful movement, he lifted the jacket and put it on Moon Jae-young's shoulders. The moment lasted only a few seconds, but it was enough to trigger a spontaneous reaction from the audience. Some sounded a little cheering, some even applauded. The MC, who watched directly on the stage, held back a warm laugh and had a light comment, making the atmosphere more boisterous. Moon Jae-young's expression at that second became one of the most viral parts of the video that spread on the internet. At first he looked a little surprised. His eyes widened for a moment when he noticed a jacket suddenly wrapped around his shoulders. However, that expression soon turned into a shy smile. He turned his head briefly towards Do Young, then lowered his head briefly as a sign of gratitude. For fans, this simple scene feels like a scene taken straight from a romantic drama. Moon Jae-young's embarrassed expression mixed with being moved, plus Do Young's slight smile that only lasted a fraction of a second, made it the perfect scene to capture. After that moment, interestingly, after putting on the jacket, Do Young did not try to look for more highlights. He returned to his position calmly, standing firm as if nothing had happened. This attitude actually impresses many even more, as it shows that the action is not for imaging, but a reflex of genuine concern. Moon Jae-young himself looked calmer afterwards. With the jacket on his shoulders, he could enjoy the course of events with a more relaxed expression. The camera several times highlighted him smiling to fans, even seen waving his arms more casually. Viral on social media, it only took less than 30 minutes before the video was widely spread on the internet. Fan accounts cut the scene short and uploaded it with various captions, ranging from romantic to funny. Hashtags such as #JacketMoment, #DoYoungMoonJae-young, to #Sweet Gesture quickly occupied the trending topic in Korea and several other countries. On online community forums like Thiku and Pan, discussions are heating up. Many netizens praised Do Young as a true gentleman, while others called the chemistry between the two so real that it felt like a real couple. Not a few also considered that the interaction was proof of their closeness behind the scenes, although of course there was no official confirmation.